We are very happy to have one of our great partners in the cruise industry, Norwegian Cruise Line, join us today. And our great friend from Norwegian Cruise Line, she helps us figure out all things related to Norwegian. Lisa Presley. Lisa, thanks for joining us today.
Hi, Ryan. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm so excited. And what really makes me excited is because we're talking about my two absolute favorite destinations.
Oh, I love it. Well, you are going to have the next 30 minutes or so to just dive in, tell us all the reasons why we should travel on Norwegian Cruise Line to these hot destinations, but also give us some of the inside tips of what we should look for to do on ship. And otherwise, I'm kind of seeing in that picture a racetrack. And if you are not familiar with the Bliss, you may want to lean in a little bit, and you might have some kids or grandkids, or even you might be interested in riding on that racetrack. You'll hear all about that and everything else from Norwegian as Lisa takes over. Lisa, it is all yours.
Thanks, Ryan. As he mentioned, you do see a racetrack on the top of this ship, and I'm going to show you a little bit more about that. But also, like I mentioned, I'm so excited to be here because I've got a lot of information I'm going to share with you. Hopefully you will take notes and be able to reach back out to your travel advisor at Bon Voyage. But let's get started. And one of my very favorite activities, like I mentioned on board the ship, is a race car. But first of all, before we get into activities, I wanted to share with you what Norwegian Cruise Line is really all about, because we are different from our competitors, and that on Norwegian Cruise Line, we are all about a freestyle experience. Now, because of that, I am actually going to show you or give you a little glimpse into what a freestyle experience on board an NCL ship is like.
Pull back the shades on a blue sky, sunny day. Watch all the worries of the world just sail away. No ocean, keep your heart wide open. I'm too busy feeling this free. Hey, 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 come on and celebrate. Hey, 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 it feels so good, go ahead. Hey, 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 don't let a moment slip away. Big time, so let's go. Let's go ahead, open your eyes and free your soul. You picked the perfect time, so let's go, let's go. Taking a breeze with the magic kind of view. All that you need is right in front of you. So much to see, so much to do. I'm too busy feeling this free. Hey, 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 don't let a moment slip away. Hey, 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 it feels so good, go ahead and open your eyes and free your soul. You picked the perfect time, so let's go, let's go.
Now, by watching that video, I'm sure you got a little bit of an idea that freestyle basically means when you're on board sailing with us, you can cruise your way. You have a choice to choose whatever activities you would like. You also have a choice of where you would like to eat. We'll talk about that in a little bit too. And we offer the best service and a fabulous experience. We talk about dining though, freestyle dining. What this means is we have no fixed dining time. So again, you can have breakfast, lunch, or dinner whenever you want, wherever you want. You may notice though from this photograph, these people are dining outdoors. We offer waterfront dining on deck 8 on a large number of our ships. So you're able to enjoy your meals while sitting outside. After all, you are on a cruise. We also are a resort casual cruise line. What that means is you can either get dressed up or go casual. We have a number of complimentary restaurants. We also have some specialty options you can choose from. And of course, we offer buffets. Because of the new protocols we have going on, buffets will be served, though nothing will be self-served any longer. And of course, we have 24-hour eateries. You're on a cruise. That happens to be one of my favorite activities on a cruise is to eat. And we certainly have plenty of options because we do have on some ships up to 29 different restaurants. And of course, we also offer room service. One of the activities that you saw earlier, though, is a go-kart. Yes, we do have a racetrack. We have the racetrack on 3 of our ships. We also offer a wide arrangement of different activities from an aqua park. We offer laser tag. We have a Galaxy Pavilion, which has virtual reality rides. We have a huge sports complex. And you see that gentleman on the bottom left, ziplining. Well, not only can you zip line, but we also offer you the opportunity to walk the plank. So if you ever wanted to play pirate, you could walk the plank on a number of our ships. We also offer a fitness center too. Because of course, if you're like me, you like to eat when you're on a ship, you're gonna need that fitness center too. We offer a lot of different just relaxing activities from a casino, multiple spas. If you want to get your hair done, you would like a massage, you want your nails done. We have a wide variety of areas for adults only. We offer a large number of bars and lounges, and of course, shopping. We offer a fantastic kids program, which is our Splash Academy. We have multiple different age groups. Each one of the activities that these children enjoy within the age groups are age appropriate. Fantastic entertainment. I cannot say enough great things about our entertainment on the ship. We have full Broadway productions from Kinky Boots to Jersey Boys. I do want to give you one tip though. If you happen to be on one of our ships, that there's a cavern club with the Beatles band playing, you want to go and you want to go early, because I can guarantee you it will fill up very, very quickly. These gentlemen will make you think that you are in Liverpool and listening to the real Beatles. They are just wonderful. Now, if you're thinking about accommodations, we have a wide variety of staterooms, and they are applicable for any type of travel style that you might like. We offer our Haven, which is our luxury product. These are our studios. These are our penthouses. Some of these rooms are up to 5,000 square feet. The Haven happens to be a private area on top of the ship. It is key card access only. Our Haven guests have their own restaurant. They have their own lounge. They have concierge service. And of course, they all have a butler. We also wanted to show you just a little peek of what some of these rooms do look like. As you can see, they are very spacious and very luxurious. The remaining staterooms that we offer on the ship, we offer balconies. We have ocean views, which have a nice picture window. We offer inside staterooms. But I have to admit, one of my very favorite staterooms is a studio stateroom. That happens to be that room down in the right-hand corner. The studio staterooms are built for singles. So if you're traveling solo, this is a perfect stateroom for you. You're only going to be paying for yourself too. We have no additional surcharge for our travelers that do cover or that do travel alone. Now to talk about one of my favorite destinations is Hawaii. What makes this so unique is Norwegian Cruise Line is the only cruise line who offers an itinerary that sails out of Honolulu. I'm going to give you a little sneak peek into Hawaii. Boy, I don't know about you, but I'm ready to go to Hawaii. I live in Michigan and it's a little chilly here right now. So anywhere where there's sand and sun on a Hawaiian island sounds fabulous to me. In Hawaii, though, I wanted to share with you what makes Norwegian Cruise Line different. Again, like I mentioned, we are the only cruise line that visits 4 islands in 7 days. We overnight in Maui and we overnight in Kauai. We have 3 different departure ports. You also can depart to Hawaii from Vancouver and from Tahiti. but these happen to be trips that are offered at the beginning and the end of our early and late seasons. Otherwise, we have one ship that sails year-round from Honolulu. We have been voted the best Hawaii itinerary for 14 years in a row. And what's fantastic about Hawaii, if this happens to be your bucket trip, you're only going to be going to Hawaii once, I recommend you adding a pre-cruise tour. This is where you can fly into Honolulu and you can spend 4 days and 3 nights touring before you board your ship. And we offer new Hawaii itineraries, which also include the French Polynesia Islands. Now, this is an itinerary that shows you how we and where we sail. We sail out of Honolulu. We go down to Maui, where we overnight. And then we go around to the big island of Hawaii. We go to Hilo, we go to Kona, and then we sail up to Kauai, where we offer 2 nights in Kauai. And then we come back down to Honolulu. You do start your cruise off, though, in Honolulu. One recommendation I have is to come into Honolulu a day early, be able to enjoy the sand in the surf of Waikiki Beach. Day 2 of your cruise and day 3, one of the options you have for shore excursions is to go whale watching. If you like to snorkel, this is a great opportunity to snorkel. And one of my favorites, is when you are in Maui, is to go visit the sunrise on Mount Haleakala. This happens to be one of those short excursions, so that you do have to get up at about 1 in the morning to get the bus that takes you all the way up to the mountain. And while you're up there, you have the opportunity to get up there in the dark. You have a flashlight, you find a spot, and then you just sit and you watch the sunrise. It is just absolutely phenomenal. While you're in Hilo, Hilo happens to be famous for dramatic waterfalls, their beautiful rainforests, and of course, if you're adventuresome, you might want to zip line across one of those rainforests. You also have the opportunity to visit the Ring of Fire by helicopter or visit Volcano National Park. These happen to be the lava tunnels that you can walk through. It is a very unique experience, which I highly recommend. Kona happens to be a very beautiful coastline. One thing about Kona, when you happen to be there, though, make sure you try their Kona coffee. It is one of the boldest coffees I think you will find in the world. The Kona office also has an abundance of sea life. So if you would like to go snorkeling with sea turtles, that is a great option. Or if you're a golfer, there's plenty of different golf courses available. Over in Kauai, the Waimea Canyon happens to be 10 miles long. It's 3,000 feet deep and it is 1 mile wide. If you want to go visit the canyon, I highly recommend that. Kauai is also known for their beautiful waterfalls and of course the Napali coast, which you will be able to see from the luxury of your ship. Now keep in mind too with Kauai that many people believe that Kauai is the Hawaii's most beautiful island, and I would have to agree. One of the biggest pieces of advice that I can share with you when you're going to Hawaii, explore it on your own. What I always do is I rent a Jeep, and these pictures are actual photographs that I took on my last trip to Hawaii. If you rent a Jeep, you can ask the crew on the ship where they would recommend that you go to. This happened to be Airport Beach that I was advised would not be crowded. As you can see, we were the only ones on the beach. It was fabulous. We also had the opportunity when you are overnighting in Maui and Kauai that you can take the Jeep and you can visit the entire island for those 2 days and really, really get the experience and immerse yourself into the Hawaiian Islands. One of the most famous destinations when you're back into Honolulu, of course, happens to be Pearl Harbor. What I recommend with Pearl Harbor is you definitely want to go. We offer a shore excursion on the very last day. So when you dock in Honolulu on your ship, you would join your shore excursion team, and then they will take you by bus along with your luggage. and they take you to Pearl Harbor. You have the opportunity to spend, I believe it's about 4 hours there, and then you board your bus, and then it takes you right directly back to the airport. It happens to be a very emotional experience. And I want to remind you, in case you do not know, when you go to Pearl Harbor, you cannot take anything in with you. So ladies, you're not able to bring your purse, but what you can do is bring your phone, bring your credit cards, bring your driver's license, and just shove everything all into your pocket. But I definitely recommend visiting Pearl Harbor again, on your last day of your cruise, because then you can include your transfers back to the airport. Now, my next favorite destination, and what you really can't see is I'm actually wearing my Alaska shirt right now. I've been to Alaska 10 times and I absolutely love it. When you go up to Alaska, you have the opportunity to ride the historic Alaska Railroad. You see tons of glaciers. One thing that you might not know about glaciers is when you happen to be in your ship and you're getting up close to a glacier, if you hear thunder, that's not thunder. That is the part of the glacier falling off, which is called calving. That piece of the glacier will fall into the water. Sometimes they're small pieces, sometimes they're really big pieces. If they're really big pieces, it's very dramatic to see the splash. The captain will get the ship just up as close as they can to the glacier to be able to share that with you too. And the ship will rotate. So if you happen to be on the port side, and everything's going on the other side of the ship, the captain will rotate the ship for you too. Now, one of the things that people like to do up in Alaska, of course, is to search for wildlife and go into Denali and get up and close with Mount Denali. I have to tell you that every time I've been to Alaska, I have always seen Mount Denali or Mount McKinley, depends on who you talk to. It has 2 different names. When you're in Alaska, though, we do offer a wide variety. We have 3 different ships that sail to Alaska. We sail out of Seattle, Vancouver, and Seward. Also keep in mind, if you're going up to Alaska, just like I mentioned in Hawaii, that if you have extra time, there's an opportunity for you to add a cruise tour onto it. And this allows you to spend some extra days in Alaska. A cruise tour can be added at the beginning of your cruise, or it can be added at the end of your cruise. Now, just to give you a little sneak peek into Alaska. Most people will ask me, do you really see whales up into Alaska? I have seen so many whales when I've been in Alaska, but when I go up to Alaska, I'm very active. I learned how to fly fish up in Alaska, and you might see that little bear sitting over there on the left. There was a bear that was back behind us as we were fly fishing, and our guide told us not to worry because that bear was going to catch way more fish than we did, and boy, he was right. That was the only fish I caught after standing there, but it is just a fantastic experience. The glacier you can see to the right, that happens to be one of the most active glaciers that I have seen when I've been up there. We had a large chunk fall into the water while we were there, and it was just absolutely phenomenal to watch. I will share with you, when you go to Alaska, though, no matter what time of the year you go up there, always expect the unexpected. I've been in Alaska where it's been warmer there than it's been in Michigan, but I've also been up near the glacier areas where I'm getting out my winter coat, my hats, and my gloves because it is chilly when you get in towards the glaciers. Oops. I also wanted to share some of the different things that you can do up in Alaska. Up in Skagway, Alaska, you can zip line. You have the opportunity to watch and dredge for gold, or you can ride the Yukon Scenic Railroad that takes you right up into Canada. Another activity that you can do in Juneau, whale watching again. One of the fun things that I've done in Juneau is to go kayaking. And while you're kayaking, you have a whale swim by you. That will definitely make you realize your kayaking skills are much better than you thought they were. You also have the opportunity to do a sled dog race. You can take a helicopter up on top of one of the glaciers. They'll have a sled dog team waiting for you, and you can race your companions, which happens to be an awful lot of fun. Ketchikan is known for the misty fjords. And of course, it's a great opportunity to see bears while you're up in Ketchikan. My favorite thing in Ketchikan to do, though, is to go fishing. I've gone halibut fishing up there where I have caught so many halibut, my arms hurt for a week. But what's fabulous is any fish that you catch, you can have it processed. They'll ship it home for you, and they'll package it in 1 pound bags, and those 1 pound bags will have your name on it. So if you decide to share it with your friends, they will all know that you were the one that caught it. In British Columbia, you have an opportunity to visit the Bouchard Gardens, which are just absolutely phenomenal. Victoria is known again for whale watching. You can ride bikes, you can hike. There's all different types of outdoor activities to be able to keep yourself entertained while you're in Victoria. I recommend going to one of the tea shops, so they have fantastic tea. And like I mentioned earlier, cruise tours. If you have the opportunity to add additional days onto your cruise, I really recommend adding a cruise tour. These are all photographs, again, that I took on my last trip. The one to the left was taken from the back of the rail car. The one in the center, we were in Mount Denali. We were right in the park, and we did go visit the Alaska pipeline. Of course, when you're up in Alaska, everybody wants to see glaciers, and you want to make sure you get to see the mountains. This railroad trip is one of the most phenomenals. It goes up along the railroad. You can see moose, you can see bear, and of course, you can get the opportunity, if you're lucky, to see fox and wolf. This is a rail car that we use. You can see it is a glass dome rail car. You got beautiful views all the way around as you're traveling from one destination to another. There also is a restaurant right down below. In case you get hungry, they do offer reindeer sausage, amongst other things. And I think one of the most amazing experiences that I have had is being able to land on a glacier. You can fly in a plane over the mountains, over the glaciers. So land on the glacier, you have these adorable little boots they put on you, and you walk around out in the snow. And we were there for about an hour. It was absolutely phenomenal. And everybody goes up to Alaska and hopes to see the Northern Lights. I'm going to give you a little hint. If you go up there at the end of the season, it's going to be pretty likely you're going to be able to see these. We were in Fairbanks, and this was in September. One hint I'm going to give you, if you are in Alaska on a cruise tour, you're staying in a hotel every single night, you'll be in a different hotel. You want to ask the front desk if they will call you if the Northern Lights come out. All of the hotels will tell you, yes, they will call you, with the exception of one. There is one hotel that's in Denali Park. They told me they will not call me if the Northern Lights are out because their whole staff goes outside and they will howl. I'm not sure if I would prefer to have a phone call or listen to people howling, but luckily that night the Northern Lights didn't come out, but the following night when we were in Fairbanks, they certainly did. These pictures were taken from a parking lot, as you can see. I ran out of my hotel. I was so excited. I snapped a bunch of pictures. What I didn't know about the Northern Lights is the Northern Lights do change colors. They turn purple and blue and red and yellow, and they dance. So it's not just a beautiful green streak across the sky. There's so much more than that. Now, we talked about Hawaii. We talked about Alaska. Now, what I want to do is share with you some great values and promotions that you can take part of. Norwegian Cruise Line just actually introduced this promotion 2 weeks ago. This is called Cruise First. This is an opportunity for you to buy a certificate that is double the value of what you paid. So if you were to buy a Cruise First certificate, it will cost you $150, and you will receive a certificate valued at $300. You can use that money then to deposit on your cruise that you're going to book after you purchase your certificate. We also have some great promotions going on right now. Our cyber sale, we're offering 30% off, and we're offering all 5 amenities. What I mean by amenities is we're going to give you free open bar, free specialty dining, free shore excursions. The shore excursions actually comes as a $50 shore excursion credit, and that will come off of your shipboard account. We're also offering free Wi-Fi, and we have a large number of sailings where kids sail free. Now, I do want to reiterate, though, the sail free does not have to be children. It's just the 3rd and the 4th passengers that are within the same cabin that you are sailing. We're also right now offering 50% discounts on our deposits, and some additional promotions that we have. We have many sailings where we're offering the 3rd and the 4th passenger within that same stateroom also to sail for just $99. And we just, I know, lots of promotions, isn't it? And we just started a new one, which is our new Fly Free promotion. It's select gateways. You pay for air for your first guest, and then your second guest is free. There is a booking window, but I do have to tell you, it's not applicable to Alaska or Hawaii. I'm sorry, it's actually just applicable for Europe. So if you're looking at going to Europe in the future, it is a great value. And as a special thank you for joining us today, if you book your next cruise vacation with Bon Voyage Travel, I'm going to give you a $50 onboard credit as a thank you. Plus, the first 9 people who book will receive a Norwegian Cruise Line logo gift. I sent a box of gifts to Bon Voyage Travel last week, so they have them in their office. So when you book your cruise, they'll be able to get one to you right away. And just please remember, you do have to book and deposit by December 18th to be able to take advantage of the onboard credit and the logo items. Although I bet I might have some more logo items. So if we go over those 9 people, I bet I can find some more. Well, I wanted to thank you for joining me today. And I do believe Ryan's going to pop back on, and we'll see if we've got any questions. I know that was a lot of information, and I might have gone through it a little too quickly.
That's all right. We do have a few questions, and if you are watching right now and you want to participate, please click on the Q&A button on the very bottom of your screen and type in your question. This is meant to be interactive. It's not like we're in a ballroom together or in our office where you can raise your hand or make eye contact, but this will suffice. So pop in and ask some questions. We do have a couple of clarifying thoughts. And a couple of people did mention they just wanted to know, and you hit it, but I'd love for you to rediscuss it again, is a lot of our people have been to Hawaii. They've done the beach thing. They've done the hotel, the resort, just hit on a couple of the real benefits outside of maybe the obvious, but the benefits of why cruising to Hawaii would be a better choice than just hopping on a plane, camping out in Maui at the Marriott or the Hilton or something. What would be your best benefits there?
The benefit of cruising with us is you're visiting 4 islands in 7 days. If you were to do that type of vacation on your own, you're going to have to pay for the inter island flights, which are very expensive. And then you're also going to have to pay for the hotel costs. So if you do happen to want to maybe not go back to the ship on the nights that we're overnighting, you could rent a hotel at the other side of the island. If you've got a car, you could drive over, spend the night, and just get back to the ship the next day before the ship sails.
Excellent. With everything going on in the world that we have now, can you just touch on and reconfirm what's the cancellation policy? What's that confidence that I have in case I want to book something, but if the world still's upside down or I want to change, what do I have that I know with Norwegian that's going to keep me protected if I want to change my mind?
Well, our normal cancellation policy is you've got 120 days prior to your sail date. We have made some modifications to that. So depending on when you want to sail, if you were looking to sail in 2021, the modifications are going to allow you to have up to 60 days prior to your sail date. We do offer a peace of mind policy so that if you do decide that you would like to cancel, you can offer for a future cruise credit in the full amount that you have paid if you would not like to have a refund. For what I'm finding is the future cruise credits are more beneficial. because you are having the opportunity to get the jump on booking your next cruise, and you're already pretty much are already going to have it paid for.
Excellent. What's the window of time on peace of mind? How close to my departure do I have that peace of mind opportunity?
You have it up until 60 days.
Okay, so 60 days prior to sailing, that's awesome. That's half of what the normal timeline would be. So for those of you saying, gosh, the world's so crazy, if I book that June cruise now, does it make sense? Hey, you've got till 60 days prior to departure to change your mind if you so choose, or hopefully the world is going well and you can get on that cruise to Hawaii or Alaska. Can you just one more time, I know there was a lot of different show offers, but maybe give us the specific, what's the best offer we've got able to provide today?
The 30% off is phenomenal because of the fact it's also giving you all of the amenities. For those of you that like to have a beer or a cocktail, think about the fact that you won't have to pay for your drinks on board. I don't know about you. I'm not a big drinker, but I will share with you that I have had times where I've had a bar bill at the end of the week that has been pretty hefty. So being able to have the drink package already paid for, that's one less bill I have at the end of the week. Plus you can visit the specialty restaurants. You have the opportunity to go to Cagney's. Cagney's is a steakhouse on board our ships. It's one of my favorites. You can order a filet mignon and you can cut it with your fork. It's phenomenal. If you like
how many different specialty restaurants on the Bliss?
On the Bliss, I want to say 14. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong because you know what? They change. Some of those have changed. And especially once we do start sailing again, the ships are going to look a little different than they have in the past. We're going to have to
that's
adhere,
right.
Yeah, so we're going to have to adhere to the CDC protocols. So we do know that activities are all going to be the same, but what's going to happen is that it just might be a little bit more beneficial to the rest of us because there'll be less people on board.
Right. And not to belabor the point on that, but obviously with the COVID protocols from the CDC and the cruise lines have been working very closely. For those of you on the webinar that have not been on one prior to this, we've talked about it with the different partners, but Norwegian Cruise Line, Oceania, and Regent all partnered together with the Royal Caribbean Group and put together what's called a Healthy Sail Panel. And it's a third-party panel of experts in the industries of medical, hospitality, security, even beyond that, the cruise industry had some representation as well, but there was also some government agencies on to really put together a plan to get back in the water safely. And that's the group that's interfacing with the CDC to make sure that everything is up to snuff. And you said it will look a little bit differently when we go back to cruising, but it's for all the right reasons, to keep the crew and the passengers as safe as possible, to make sure that medical facilities have increased their number of spaces, their ability to respond and care to anybody that would be ill. Also, the testing is going to be ramped up. So there's a lot of that still coming. So for those of you on the webinar, stay tuned. Bon Voyage plans to have a dedicated webinar to those protocols when we get closer and really have a real firm understanding of how it's going to be and what that physical distancing is going to look like. Will there be a requirement of facial coverings? And that is most likely going to happen at least early on, but not to scare anybody into not cruising early in 2021. But please take note that Norwegian Cruise Line has itineraries starting right now in March through the end of the year. If you're thinking, gosh, I don't know, should I do? 2022 is not that far away and inventory is actually going pretty fast. So think of it that way. If you're on the fence about cruising in 2021, we are ready and able to book you for 2022 right now. So call your travel advisor today. But I think that's the last of our questions. We want to thank Lisa for joining us today. Thank our attendees for being on the webinar. This is intended to inspire you to want to travel. So hopefully you saw something special in one of these two itineraries, either to Hawaii or Alaska, that perked your interest. And if not, check out our website. We've got more opportunities coming up with our webinar series, and we'll hope to see you soon. Lisa, thanks again, and happy holidays to you.
Thank you. Happy holidays. I'm sitting here counting specialty restaurants on my fingers. I actually counted 9, so I might have been wrong.
Okay, that's still a great number of options. I'm a foodie, so I love my variety. So that
Me
sounds.
too. Well, happy holidays to you too. Thank
Take
you.
care, everybody.